The mentally challenged chimpanzees who call themselves the writers of the Rings of Power have finally revealed what they meant by the words, "We will stick closer to the law." Well, everybody, and welcome to yet another video. Well, and I am back, my dear friends, with yet another review of the Rings of Prime. This time it is episode 4, titled The Eldest, I think, and they are quadrupling down, my dear friends, on everything that they have done so far. And now I know, for certain, my dear friends, we know what they meant when they say that they will stick closer to the law, closer to the texts actually written by Professor Tolkien. Nobody really has expected them to do it this way, and it infuriated me. You can't even imagine that. Watching each and every single episode of this piece of trash is hell on earth. Do you know what they did? They took sentences, they took lines, they took passages straight from not the appendices to the Lord of the Rings, but from the Lord of the Rings, from the Fellowship of the Ring, from the chapters specifically that were not adapted into the films by Peter Jackson, and they just put them into the Rings of Power, into situations with different characters, in most cases with their original characters, or with characters that really had nothing to do with the events in the Fellowship of the Ring. I will explain, don't worry, we will get to that. It is something delicious, it is something juicy, it is something to laugh at for weeks to come. Now, again, we have several storylines. I will begin with the one that infuriated me the most, and it is Tom Bombadil. So, they ended up in the last episode by the stranger and the hobbits, the Half-Orcs separating because he messed up another spell and just, they flew away. They sent them into the skies. Or he sent them into the skies. And so he follows the stars like he did all the bloody episodes previously. And so he reaches the place that he was looking for. And who does he find? Well, he finds Tom Bombadil, who acts nothing like Tom Bombadil in the book. He just hums the song a little bit. It is not the cheerful, not the colourful, not the dancing Tom Bombadil that we know from the intermezzo in The Lord of the Rings, from the chapter that really serves as a harbour of peace on the journey of the hobbits in the Fellowship of the Ring. And of course, then, this is the first instance when they took something from the book and put it in the Rings of Power without any sense, as if a kid just took it and just smear it on its face. It's like, do you know what they did? So, the stranger finds a tree, an olive tree, I think, in the garden of Tom Bombadil. And what do you think the tree does? The tree captures him in its bark. In its trunk, like Old Man Willow did in the Fellowship of the Ring to the hobbits when they fell asleep. And you know what Tom Bombadil does? He speaks to the tree, he sings to the tree, so that the tree releases the stranger, such as he did in the Fellowship of the Ring to save the hobbits. And so he cleans the stranger takes a bath, and then they talk. And they talk very seriously, and the dialogue was very corny, very cheesy. Nothing makes any sense. And what infuriates me even more is the overacting. Everybody is overacting in this bloody show, except for Arondir. He is like the worst actor ever, but I will get to that. And so we get to know, do you know what we get to know? So they speak, and we get to know a couple of things that reveal something that we have thought for a long time, that the Dark Wizard is yet another of the Istari. I thought so. I think that I mentioned it in the last episode, which is preposterous. Once again, this is the Second Age. The Istari came to the Middle-earth in the Third Age. In the History of Middle-earth, Volume 13, I think, or 12, it is mentioned that Tolkien thought about making the Blue Wizards coming to Middle-earth in the Second Age, but in the end ended up making them come to Middle-earth in the Third Age. So once again, this is highly anti-canonical. The Istari did not come to Middle-earth in the Second Age, but only in the Third Age. But what else do we get to know? The fact that it is the fate of the stranger to face Sauron and Adar and to stand against them. And do you know what, according to the law, was the purpose, the goal of the Istari? Well, to help the people of Middle-earth fight Sauron. Not use power against power, not subjugate the peoples of Middle-earth, not fight Sauron directly, but only help them. So once again, these are one of the things that they just took from the book, took from The Lord of the Rings, and put it in the show nonsensically, just so they can say, see, this was in the book, yes, but it doesn't make sense here. I mean, absolutely. You are like a little kid playing in the playground, like playing with Batman action figure, and putting him against a Spider-Man action figure, which doesn't make any sense. And then, like playing that you are a Marvel DC Comics writer. This is absolutely preposterous. Goldberry gets mentioned, but not by name. The stranger only said, there was a woman. I heard her singing. Was there a woman? And Tom Bombadil says that no. So, Goldberry gets mentioned, not by name. She's not there. Fantastic. Yeah. This is them talking in the little shack that Tom Bombadil has. And there we go. Another storyline. Nori and female Sam. They land in yet another part of the desert, and they meet that which we saw in the trailer. They meet the Stores, which are just extremely diverse hobbits in the desert. They are secluded there, they are hiding, and they are being led by Big Mama Hobbit. Big Mama Hobbit here. Apparently she's like the matriarch to be feared. They are discovered by this Rajesh that I was talking about when I saw the trailer. The Rajesh Hobbit, the Indian Hobbit, takes them there, and on the way he says like, "Oh, don't be mean to Mama. Always be nice because she is the big Mama and we all fear her. But she's a good big Mama. She takes care of us." Right. So Big Mama takes them. She provides them with shelter. And, then there's more of Amazon's made-up lore is revealed, like the fact that there are these, Middle Eastern assassins of the Dark Wizard, walking around, and the Dark Wizard is always, omnipresent danger, and they all fear him. And then, the Big Mama told them, a story about this ancient hobbit, ancient store, and, this old man store who was telling them a story about the promised land filled with plenty and with water. And that, one day they will go to that place. And the half would say, well, this is our home. And so apparently they want to reunite the clans, to make the hobbits in The Lord of the Rings. This is so preposterous. This is absolutely hilarious. And so the assassins then come, they slap the Big Mama around, and they ask, where are the Harfoots? Well, she doesn't rat on them, of course. Everybody's morally ambiguous except for the ethnic characters. They are all good. Absolutely 100% of the ethnic characters are morally Jesuses. Especially Arondir and Big Mama here. This is something. Oof, all right, are we done? No, we're not, because we get to this. Wowzers! Well, I took this. I took this photo of a screen because I couldn't find a picture, and just can't print. Well, never mind. I just took a picture. And this is a journey party that travels along with Galadriel and Elrond on their quest. And Elrond is now the commander, and she bosses Galadriel around all the time because he doesn't trust her. He hates the idea of the rings. He is an absolute dick around her. And so this is who she recommends to him. Because he says, all right, so recommend me some archers, the best archers we have, and recommend me the best swordsmen we have. And of course, the result is this diverse travel party of, it hurts to say it, but elves. And so they travel around, la la la, yada yada yada, and they get to the woods, and do you know what they find? This extremely diverse party of elves. Barrow Wights. And do you know what's the most delicious thing of all? Once again, they took passages and lines from the Fellowship of the Ring when the hobbits were captured by the Barrow Wights and locked up in, the burial mounds. Like the song that they heard. The Barrow Wights were singing the song. And so there was this battle scene between the diverse elves and the Barrow Wights who were singing the song. And they couldn't be killed, of course. So there's a little bit of Xena warrior princessing by Galadriel, of course. And then they defeat them somehow. And they stumble upon a random pack of orcs and who hunt horses. And one of the elves gets shot by a stray arrow because they're all idiots and they just let themselves be shot by stray arrows. And Galadriel heals that elf with Nenya, the ring. It's like force heal in, Last Jedi? I don't know. I can't recall Nenya having such healing powers. But once again, who was this written by? Chimpanzees? No, I don't want to insult chimpanzees, I'm sorry. So, there is more Xena warrior princessing by Galadriel. She, annihilates the entire pack of orcs. She throws fire around and, she, throws lanterns around and shoots arrows in those lanterns, and those lanterns explode and set the orcs on fire, and she flips the flops around. Is Xena the warrior princess? Nah, it's nothing in comparison with Galadriel here. And then she rides away, and Elrond says, oh, she did it because she wanted to get the ring away from me. And I'm like, what the hell? Right, so Galadriel escapes, but right when she escapes, she is apprehended by Adar. So they meet again. This is something, if I drank alcohol, I would have to be drunk every time I watch this bloody show. Finally, we are getting to the end. Oh, thank gods. Do you know what this is? This is an Entwife. Or one of them. Well, there were Ents and Entwives. In the storyline of Arondir and Isildur, who traveled together, along with this Middle Eastern chick. Everybody's Middle Eastern in the show. And they get to know that she's got the brand of Adar at the back of her neck. So they put her in shackles, yada yada. And they are looking for Theo all the time, right? This original character, son of Bronwyn, who died in between the seasons because the actress left. That's the reason. The actress left. And so they needed to kill her in between seasons. That's the reason. So they're looking for Theo, and he gets apprehended once again. And you know who apprehends him? The Entwives. So, Arondir, he finds Entwives, and they want to kill him because they hate everybody, of course, and because they had been hurt by orcs, which, is understandable. But you know what he does? This morally extremely, good, the only good character, or, the only good character type of this show, the ethnic people. He like, I'm sorry for what my people did, can you ever forgive me? And there's like this very, very, very long and very cringe conversation between the Endwife and Arondir. And in the end, it's like, I don't even know. They are in peace. There's one more thing I wanted to mention about Arondir. And then there's like, they are in the swamps. So at one point, they travel through a swamp, Arondir, Isildur, and the chick from Middle East. And they get attacked by like a giant snake thing from the swamp. And Arondir obviously kills that thing. And they ask him, what is that? And he says, there are many nameless things in the depths of the earth. Once again, taken straight from the Fellowship of the Ring. But do you know what then he adds? He adds, we shall call this one supper. And then they eat it. Why do these characters always eat the most disgusting shit ever? In each and every single episode, somebody eats something disgusting. Why are the showrunners and the screenwriters obsessed with eating bugs, eating scorpions, eating huge swamp snails, and sitting on cacti? I mean, tell me once again that this is based on anything that Tolkien wrote, and I will go mental. Right, so this is the gist of it. This is what they meant by we are going to stick to the lore more closely. We are going to randomly pick lines and passages that Peter Jackson did not adapt into his films, and we are going to twist and turn them into the most unimaginable piece of crap ever witnessed by a human eye. So, let me know in the comments down below what you think. I gotta go. Na Marie.